Good afternoon, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle that I created. I created this one a few months ago, so I remember almost nothing about it, but it seemed an appropriate puzzle for me to do. So I didn't really have time to go looking for much in the way of puzzles. Today, as you're watching this, is an incredibly busy day for me. I am recording it in advance, but I've got a lot of preparation to do. So just trying to get everything done. Literally, as you are watching this, I am walking in the final minutes of watching Hamilton on stage in Melbourne for the first time. So, yeah, moving on. So this is a puzzle I picked because it allows me to cover two individual topics. First of all, this puzzle, Marble Run, was created for a puzzle pack that was released in January, the Lockout Lines Unlocked Puzzle Pack, which was a pack of 36 Lockout Lines puzzles. It was broken into 4 sets of difficulties, the 101 puzzles, the 201 puzzles, 301 and 401, so ramping up in difficulty as you went through it. This was a 201 puzzle, as rated by the other setters who are more experienced at Lockout Lines than I was. So I will provide a link below to where you can get that pack. And I will also try and remember to provide a link to the video I did, which is an introduction to Lockout Lines, which covers a couple of the puzzles from that pack, which were designed to be a good way of learning Lockout Lines if you've never done them before. This puzzle's a little bit harder than those, so hopefully if you've never done them before and you want to get into Lockout Lines, you can go jump to that video, do those puzzles, and then come back and do this one. Also, this is topical because this was at the beginning of my exploration of the quadruples constraint, which is kind of what led to me asking other setters to help with March of the Quads, which is the big 40 puzzle pack that is currently running on my channel. And is going gangbusters. Not only have people submitted solution codes, have been streaming solutions on the Cracking the Cryptic Discord server, not only have I received a couple of emails providing solution codes and providing feedback and saying how much they loved the pack, I've had several people who've created quadruples puzzles having been inspired by doing the pack, which it's just great. I mean, if what we're doing is inspiring other setters and other puzzle creators to create puzzles, we're doing something right. So yeah, there's 2 puzzle packs related to this that I think you can jump into. Both, I'll provide links to both below, the Lockout Lines Unlocked pack and to March of the Quads. Yeah, lots and lots of puzzles for you to explore. Flip between them. Grab what inspires you, and of course there will still be videos on my channel and many other channels. The amount of puzzle content in the world, how do we get time to do anything else? I really am struggling to fill up the gaps. Let's see how we go. Anyway, this is Marble Run by BremSter. That's me. Yeah, set this one a couple of months ago. I remember nothing about it, so I really have no idea what the solution path is. I've done so many puzzles since this, so I'm not calling it a blind solve, but it may as well be. I really don't know what I'm in for. So, the rules in place in this one, there's really only 3. So what do we have? We have normal Sudoku rules. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Pretty much every puzzle I've covered so far has had those rules. We have the quadruples rules, which is when there is one of these circles and there are digits in the circle, those digits must be placed at least once in the 4 cells that touch that circle. So we know that in these 4 cells there will be a 1 and there will be a 5. In these 4 cells there will be a 3 and a 5, and the same is true. So down here, those 4 cells will contain a 9. The other rule, which is slightly harder to explain because there's a few more moving bits in it, are the lockout line rules. So lockout lines exist between diamonds. So this is one lockout line from here to here. This is another lockout line that shares this diamond. The digits in the diamonds must be at least 4 apart, So these two digits cannot be within 4 of each other, and the digits on the line must be outside the bounds set by those digits. So if this was a 3, whoops, don't select two digits when you do that. That's not right. If this was a 3 and this was a 7, these two cells must be outside of 3 and 7. They can't be the same and cannot be between. So these would have to be from 1, 2, 8, and 9, which are the digits that are not between 3 and 7. And that's how lockout lines work. With that, I promised people that this puzzle was solvable, so now I need to remember how to do it. So let's give this a shot. So, where do I start? Box 5 looks cluttered, but I think I'm actually going to start, because of these quads, in box 2. So you can never place 5 on a lockout line. And the reason for that, if you think about it, is because the ends have to be 4 apart and what goes on the line has to be outside the bounds. If you were to try and put a 5 on a line, you would have to do something like 4 and 0 or 6 and 10, none of which you can't do because of the rules of Sudoku, because these need to be 4 apart and you need to get 5 outside. So that does not work. You can never put 5 on a lockout line. But because of these quads, you cannot put 5 here and you cannot put 5 here. So 5 has to go into these 3 cells and cannot be in those two. So this is a 5. Now, once you put 5 into a diamond on a lockout line, it means that this needs to be 1 or 9 because it needs to be 4 away. And these digits are all going to either be high or low. Now, if they're all high, this could work by being 6 or 7. If they're all low, then that means this is a 6-7 pair. I'm not sure if I can see what to do with that yet. Now, this 5 means 5 is down here on this quadruple. 6 actually... 1 is down here, but I'm not sure that does anything, and that's just the same quad pointing trick. I really don't remember anything about this puzzle. I don't remember setting it. I don't remember the look of it. I don't remember any tricks I put into it. So 5 can't be here, and it can't be on a lockout line. So 5 is now in one of those two. There's another set of pointing quads here, which means that 3s have to go down here. Now, 3 on a lockout line... I'm actually going to bring up my lockout line calculator because it's been a while since I've done it. I might try and remember to provide a post below to where you can download the lockout line sheet that I use. It's basically a list of what the options are on a lockout line. But I think more important to that, that means that 3 is not in those cells. And 3 can't be in these cells, and I need to put a 3 on this quad. So 3 must go here. Now, once 3 is on one end of a lockout line, this cannot be a 5, because as I said here, that's not 4 apart. So this now must be the 5. Now, 3 on one end of the lockout line, 4 apart is... 3 goes with 7, 8, or 9. So this is 7, 8, or 9, which means this is high. Now, I said that this could be 6, 7... This can't be 8, because 8 must go in this quad. Now, on a 3 with a 7 or 9, 1, 2, 8, 9... 5 is down here, which 5 can't go there. I'm jumping all over the place again. I need to slow down and not do that as much. So if these were high, I think I need to look here. If I put 3 on a lockout line, this would need to be 4, 8, or 9. It could be 9 though. If I put 3 here, this is 7 or 8. One of the tricks to remember with lockout lines, and this is important, is what digits are you locking out? And that's something, right. So when you're looking at lockout lines, and this is a trick I would have used when I was setting this and completely forgot about, and I've seen it a lot with puzzles where you see where a lockout line sees 4 digits, is this line, you need to can look at what digits get locked out. Now, if this was a 9, what would happen here? So what I would have if this was a 9 is 3 and 9 would only have 2 digits that were locked out from it, which would be 1 and 2. But I've got 3 cells to fill. So this cannot be a 9, or I would need to put 1 and 2 into 3 cells. So this must be the 7. So that means one of these is a 6. But I could still potentially put 7 there. I don't think I've got this yet. But these are from 1, 2, 8, and 9. And I cannot put 8 in those. So these are from 1, 2, 9. 6 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 have to go in here. So I have to put one of 4 or 6 on this line. Now that's a trick, because when you put 4 or 6 on a lockout line, you are really close to the middle and you start getting a similar restriction to 5s. And it means if you put a 6 on a line, you need to put 1 5 so that the 6 is not bounded. And if you put 4 on a line, you need to put 5 9 on the line. So one of these has to be a 5 and the other one has to be 1 or 9. This can't be a 5. This must be a 5 because I have to put a 4 or a 6 on this line. This must be a 5. I really do not remember this puzzle because I cannot possibly not put a 4 or a 6 on this line. Now this now has to be 1 or 9. And it can't be 9 because there's a 9 in the quad. This is a 1. So on this line, I cannot put a 4 because that would be between. So this now is a 4, which makes this a 4. Still got, that makes this the 5 because this 5 sees those. So I've still got to put a 5 on this quad. There has to be an 8 in one of those two. Now these now need to contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There needs to be a 6 in one of those. Now between 1 and 5, I can only put high digits. So they are from 6, 8, and 9 and must contain a 6. I am almost certainly missing something clear here. Now this is not a 3 anymore, so 3 is on this line. So with 3 on the line, I'd already looked at this, but hadn't remembered what I'd figured out. So 3 on the line means 3 must be locked out. The only way you can lock out 3 is with 4. Well, I can't put a 5 on this, so I have to use 4, 8, or 4, 9. But this could be 4, 8, or 9, and this is 4, 8, or... Well, this is not 9. So this is 4 or 8, and this is 4, 8, or 9. I can't put 9 here because 9 has to be in this quad. But 8 has to be down here to fulfill this quad. This is a 4. So this is not a 4, it's an 8 or a 9. Now, if this is 4, 9, this is 1, 2, or 3, and if it's 4, 8, If it's 4, 9, this is 2, 3. And if it's 4, 8, it's 2, 3, 9. So these must be 2, 3, 9, must contain a 3. I'm not seeing any. Yes, I am. Again, jumping all over the place, but this 6 quad lines up with that 6 pair. So 6 can't go up there, so the only place left in the row for a 6 is there. So these 6 is now up here. I really do not remember this puzzle. 5 is up here, and that's good because I'm really enjoying discovering this puzzle without knowing what it is I'm discovering. So 1 is not here. Okay, that's fairly clear. What can this be? It can still actually be lots of stuff. 2, 4, 8, and 9. Now, this has 4 digits on it, but they can have repeats. Actually, that's an important thing to remember. I can have repeats on this. So while they all have to be high or all have to be low, they don't all have to be different. Okay, 4 can only go with 8 or 9. Okay. 4 also has to go in. Oh, 4 is right there. 4 and 4 looking into this box. 4 looking into this box, and that's a 6. That's a 4. So 7 is in one of those two. I do feel there's something happening with this quad. But I can't quite place it. So 4 with this is either low or 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, or 9. And that's because if this is 9, this is 1, 2, 3. If it's 8, it's 1, 2, 3, or 9. 3 must be in here. But that's lining up fine with these quads. Hang on, I can never put 5 on a lockout line. 5 has been in those two positions since the very beginning of the puzzle. Which means that's not a 5 and this is a 5. Which puts 5 down here. 2 could be there or there. I don't see. In fact, there's nothing stopping it being in both. Am I missing anything in row 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's nothing stopping any of those being 6, 7, 8. So 5's lining up here. So where can 5s go? So 5, 5. So I've got these 5s. So down here, 5s are down here. Down here, 5s are in any of those. 5s are there and 5s are... But 5 can't go on. This is a 5. This is a 1. This is now a 9. So this is 5 to 9. So these are low digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. These ones are not 4. That's not 1 or 3. This is 2 or 4. This is not 4 or 1. It's very tempting to just write a 4 there, but the important thing to remember is I could, because, but there can be repeats on this. 1, 2, 3. There's no, oh, it's so close. I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 7. Okay, so this now has to be 6, 7, or 8. Because it can't be 5 and it can't be 9. This isn't 9. This isn't 9. This isn't 9. Wait a minute. This isn't 1. This is a 2. So there's no 2 in either of those. So these are 2, 3, 6, and 8 across here. So this is 2, 3, 8. This is a 2, 3, 8, 9 quadruple. This is not 7 anymore. This is the... Hang on, that can't be right. I made a boo-boo. Made a boo-boo. So this is not 2. That's fine. I'm cool with that. This now has to be the 3 because I completely got this row wrong. Let's do it properly. This is 2 or 9. But 9 has to be in here. Because it's not up here and it can't go here because of that 9. 9 is in here. This is 2. Now that doesn't restrict that. So these are 7, 8, and 9 without that one being 9. This is now 6, 7, or 8. I think that's cleaner. This is now a 3. Doesn't take 3 out of there, but there's no 2 in there. One, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 6, 7, or 8. But I don't think I can ever put a 6 on this. In order to put a 6 on this, this would have to be a 5, and it can't be. This can't be a 6. This is 7 or 8. Which means there's no 6 in any of those. This is the 6. This is the 8. This is a 1, 9. There is no 9 here. This is a 7, 8. This is a 9. I would say whoever set this was very clever, but that would sound self-serving. This is now a triple, which is 2, 4, and 8, which means this is a 7 and this is a 6, which means this is an 8 and this is a 7. So between locked out of these can only be the 8. I cannot put a 2 or a 4 in here because however I do this, 2 and 4 is not going to be locked out of these diamonds. This is the 8. This is not the 8. Now to lock out this now, because of the 1, 7, if I put a 7 on here, I haven't locked out. This has to be a 6. Now, that puts 6 in one of those, but that seems almost fatuous. 7 goes down here, put 7 up here. Now, 6 on a lockout line, 4 different. I can't go up, I have to go down. It has to be 1 or 2, and it can't be 1. So this is a 2, 6 line. On a 2, 6 line, I am locking out lots of stuff. I am locking out 1, 7, 8, and 9. Yes, 1, 7, 8, and 9. Now, this can be any of them. This cannot be 8. This cannot be 7. but it does mean 4 goes over here. And again, I think I've got the problem of 4 on a lockout line, which has to go 5, 9. Oh no, that could work. Because I could go 5, 9, I think. Not sure. So I've got the 1, 9, which is fine. 6, they're fine. I need to put a 3 in one of those. Is that restricted? Oh, this 8. This is making this a 9. So 4, 9 means that this is not a 9. This is a 1, a 2, or a 3. Okay. Puts a 9 in one of those two. This is a triple. Let's put in triples. I like triples. 3, 6, and 7. Okay, maybe not this one. Except that can't be an 8. That 8 has been staring down there for quite a while now. I need to put an 8 on this quad. I'd completely forgotten about the quads. March on. So that's an 8. The other end of an 8, 4 different from an 8. I've got lots of options. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, but I can't put a 2 on it because of that 2. That 2. So 1, 3, 4. But it does put 8 in one of those two. I've got the 2, 5 here. I've got the 6 here. I need to put this is not a 3 because of this. I've got the 6, 7 here. I think this was one of those puzzles where I put in multiple ways of solving stuff and I'm not seeing any of them. So 8 on a lockout line means I'm only playing with 1, 2, 3, and 9, I think, because 4 away I can get to 4. But if I do 8, 4, which leaves me the most options, I've got 1, 2, 3 lower than that and 9 higher than 8. So 1, 2, 3, 9. And that's a quadruple, which means that is a 7. I'm starting to understand why Simon sometimes says out of nowhere. So if that's a 7, 7 has to go into one of those two. 7 is in one of those two. Eight, yeah, 8 is in one of those. 2, 6, that's all good. There'll be a trick. There'll be a trick. Now, if this is 5, this would have to be 1 or 9. And I think that if this is 5, this is 9. And that would put 4 on it, and that would be fine. But if this is 5, this is 9, this is 1, this is 8. 5, 9, 1, 8, 3, 2. I think I made the same mistake down here as I made up here, which is if this was a 1, these would all have to be 9 because the only thing locked out would be 9. This is not a 1. It's a trick I like to use when I'm creating lockout line puzzles, and then when I'm solving it, I forget to use it all the time. So this is 3 or 4, but it's not. Maybe I don't like this setter very much. So I need to put a 1 and a 5 on this. Is that going to be a problem? Because not that I'm seeing. Quad logic. Always remember to use quad logic. 7 in this box has to be in those two cells forced by the quads. 7 in this box has to be down here because I can't put it up here because of the lockout line logic, which means that cell there cannot be a 7, or else I would have 3 7s in these two rows. This gives me a 3-6 pair and makes that a 7. Does that help? Don't know, but it's a thing. So this is 3 6. These are a pair, so let's put them in. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So those are a 4 6 pair. Could that be more useless? Wait a minute. Oh, no, it's not. That is a 4 6 pair. I saw down here and went, this has to be a 4 6 pair because of that 4 6. And it was like, no, because 4 can hide here. But this has to be a 4 6 pair because I can't put 4 or 6 into any of those, which means that is an 8. This is a 4 6 pair, which means 6 is in one of those two. And these are 1, 2, 3, and 9. So they are 1, 2, and 9. And they're not 2. This is a 1, 9 pair. This is a 3. This is a 2. That 3 makes this a 4, which allows every single one of those options. But it makes this a 6, makes this a 4, makes this a 6. This is now a 1 or a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 7 in there. Actually, I know what these are. 1, that's a 2 7 pair, which takes 2 out of those. This is a 2 7 pair. If you're a setter, and you've got a bad memory like me, occasionally pull out some of your old puzzles and work through them because you find stuff that you didn't know you did. Or at least I do. Maybe it's just me. 3 4 2 5. Are all of the quads now done? 5 8. I do need to put a 3 in here. So does that mean this cell in particular is restricted? It can be 1, 2, can't be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. This can only be 1 or 2. 139, and it must have a 3 in it, but that's kind of unhelpful. I've still got to figure out the 1 in here. Well, this 9 is looking over making that a 1, so 1 now goes across here, which takes 1 out of... Oh, there's no 1 in those at all. Well, there's not now. I just put that 1 in. So this is a 3, 9. This is not a 1. This is a 2, 3. That makes this a 1, because the 1 is knocking out of all of those. That 1 is knocking out of those. This is a 1. Huh. So that's all legal. That's fine for the lockout line. I think I'm mostly down to Sudoku now, which is not great. 9, 1. So 2, 3. 2 is in one of those two, which puts 2 up here. What are these? These are 2, 3, 6, and 9. So that C's 3, 6, and 9. That has to be a 2. That's a naked single. So there are 2 2s on that quad. I really don't remember this. So this is 3, 6, and 9. There's no 6 there. So that's a 3, 9 pair. This is the 6. Does that 6 do anything? Not really. 3, 9. So 5 has to go on this quad. Is there anything else being forced onto that quad? No, but that's a 4 and that's a 2, which puts 2 right there on the line. 2 is forced onto that line. That's got to do something because... Oh, can I lock that in? If it's 2 and 4 on the line, then this would have to be 5, 9. 1, 9. Hang on, that's not a 4. There's a 4 looking at it. There's a 4 at the end of this line. So this is an 8 or a 9. It's not a 5. This is the 5. This is an 8 or a 9. Mathematically, 5 is not four digits away from 4. It just doesn't work. This is an 8. So outside the bounds of that are 1, 2 is in the box, 1, 3, and 9. There is a 3 in the box. This is another 1, 9. So I've got a 1, 9. This becomes a 3, 6, and it sees a 3. This is the 6. This is the 3, making this the 6. I now need to put a 3 in one of those two. So this is a 2, 3 pair. So this is 2, 3. That is a 2, 3 pair. The digits I'm missing from here are 5 and 8. So these are now known. These are 1 and 7. I should have just looked at the pencil marks. So these are 8 and 9. And we've got an 8 looking at it. That is a 9. That is an 8. And that's going to blow away all of these pencil marks. This is 1. This is 9. This is 1. This is 7. This is 1. This is now missing from the row a 3. These are now 7 and 9. The 9 hits the 3, the 9, the 3, which makes that 2 and 3, 7 and 2. Doesn't resolve the 5, 8 yet, but I don't have much left to do. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are an 8, 9, which is resolved by the 9 in box 9. This is an 8, this is a 9. In here, I need to put a 1, and I can't put it there. So this is the 1. So this, what is left from this column, it seems to be a 4. These, well, the 8 over here makes this a 5 and this an 8. And to finish the marble run, I need to put in a 5 and a 7. And that is marble run. I would congratulate the setter, but as I said, that seems a bit self-serving. So that's the puzzle that I made for the Lockout Lines Unlocked puzzle pack. How long did that take me to solve? 40 minutes. Wow. Okay. Eep. That's what happens when you forget your own puzzles. Make a lot of puzzles, forget how they work, go back and solve them and go, cool. I hope you enjoyed that puzzle. And I hope that you go and check out both March of the Quads and the Lockout Lines Unlocked pack. Between the two of them, you've got 76 amazing puzzles to choose from. I don't know where you're going to find the time to do it, but that's not my problem. My problem is how to find the time to record videos. Thank you everyone for watching, and good luck with your solving.